So, okay, I got it. Bro, go in the middle. Go in the middle.
Are you doing it? What if he gets what if Nate and Conor gets 3 million pay-per-views?
It's not out of the question.
It's not.
It's a stretch, but not out of the question.
It's a stretch. But if Nate can talk the right amount of shit, and people get excited about it. Honestly, right now, for Conor, what else is there that's even close?
As far as fight?
In MMA? What else is even close?
The only argument is you can say Conor's the only draw. He can fight Billy from Afghanistan and still get 2 million.
Nate Diaz is already deep in camp, moving like his name is locked in on a White House megacard, even though there's been no official opponent or signed agreement announced. He hasn't said much publicly, but his preparation is speaking for him. The sessions are intense, extended rounds, crisp boxing combinations, non-stop conditioning, and analysts are beginning to highlight that this doesn't resemble a farewell tour or publicity stunt. It looks calculated and purposeful. As speculation builds and fans debate potential matchups, Diaz seems focused on one priority: being fully ready the moment the opportunity becomes official. While headlines swell and rumors gain momentum, his approach suggests he's preparing for any challenge that comes with stepping back onto the sport's brightest platform.
I think the answer is very obvious. I think we would all rather see Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 3. Of course, they are 1-1. The rubber match needs to happen. And if it doesn't happen in the UFC, maybe it happens down the line when they're out the UFC and they're both in the 50s, right? That fight needs to happen at some point in a car park, in a pub, in a restaurant, or better yet, at the White House in the UFC's octagon. That would be a fight that we all want to see, and I think it kind of needs to happen. Anyway, so that's what Nate Diaz should be targeting. That's what he should be talking about. Saying, never mind Michael Chandler, man. I can't do a Nate Diaz impression, right? He should say, never mind Michael Chandler. He's lost his last few fights. We're 1-1. Let's go. Let's do it at the Oval Office, on the White House lawn, wherever the fight's going to take place, right? That's what they should.
Even in top shape, Nate Diaz is eyeing a huge payday with a White House card looming. Joe Rogan says Diaz's honesty, attitude, and loyal fan base make him a star who can command attention on his own.
Hank, I'm sure. I mean, they're obviously not out of shape. They're both thin.
Yeah.
They look like they're fit. I see them training. I see, pictures of them with jiu-jitsu gis on and hitting the bag and shit. It's, who knows, man? I mean, it's also like they want that big payday, especially now, and they should get that big payday. But goddamn, if I was the UFC,
you pay them?
Fuck yeah. I think those guys are superstars. I think the UFC doesn't know. I think one of the reasons why Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor was so big is because people love Nate Diaz too. It's not just Conor McGregor.
No doubt. No doubt.
Conor McGregor, no disrespect to Eddie Alvarez, but when Conor McGregor fought Eddie Alvarez, the vast majority of the eyes were on Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
When Conor McGregor fights Nate Diaz, you're looking at a lot of people who love Nate Diaz.
Yeah. But how do you think that happened? Like, how do you think Nate got such that star power? You think it's like his attitude?
Fuck. He legitimately doesn't give a fuck. He smokes weed all the time. People love it.
Then Thomas highlighted that the Diaz brothers' approach allows them to remain competitive even later in their careers. He noted their success comes from precise technique, relentless persistence, and exceptional stamina, relying on skill and conditioning rather than sheer athleticism. suggesting they still have significant potential to showcase inside the cage.
Body could still fight in their old age. The way the Diaz brothers fight, their style will allow them to fight longer.
Yeah.
Because they're not like the best athletes. So they rely on skill and just
endurance.
Endurance, yeah. So they can fight longer. So I'm assuming that they still have something.
Lot. I like Nate, but getting a fight done with him isn't easy as it seems. Everybody's like, well, why don't you make a fight? Well, why don't you make a fight? Well, he asked for Francis Ngannou.
Heard the new talk is that Conor McGregor, Jorge Masvidal could be a potential.
No,
what's your thoughts? Oh, you haven't heard this? No. This is the biggest thing on social media now. Everyone's talking, that Chandler's out and Masvidal's in, and it's Conor and Masvidal.
You know what's funny? So in my algorithm on Instagram, I have nothing MMA.
Right?
Literally nothing MMA pops.
Or mine's politics. That's my.
Yeah, mine's definitely. There's some politics, but yeah, I don't listen to any of the goofy.
No.
No.
Is that considered goofy?
That's goofy shit. Yeah. The MMA world, I don't listen to any of that. So literally none of that is on my algorithm. So people say, "Oh, did you hear?"
You ever heard? He's like, I believe you. He's not heard about that. It's funny. You type in one of their names too, and that's all people seem to be talking about.
Almost everything you see on the internet about our sport is wrong.
It's not real.
It's all wrong. Yeah.
Dana White expressed strong respect for Nate Diaz, but noted that arranging a fight with him is rarely simple. He explained that while fans assume the UFC can easily schedule matchups, Nate often seeks high-profile or unconventional opponents, which complicates negotiations. Regarding a potential White House card, White highlighted that although Diaz's name adds immense draw, finalizing the right deal and opponent behind the scenes is the real challenge.
We would all rather see Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 3. Of course, they are 1-1. The rubber match needs to happen. And if it doesn't happen in the UFC, maybe it happens down the line when they're out of the UFC and they're both in the 50s, right? That fight needs to happen at some point in a car park, in a pub, in a restaurant, or better yet, at the White House in the UFC's octagon. That would be a fight that we all want to see, and I think it kind of needs to happen. Anyway, so that's what Nate Diaz should be targeting. That's what he should be talking about. Saying, never mind Michael Chandler, man. I can't do a Nate Diaz impression, right? He should say, never mind Michael Chandler. He's lost his last few fights. We're 1-1. Let's go. Let's do it at the Oval Office, on the White House lawn, wherever the fight's going to take.
Dana White dismissed rumors of a Conor McGregor versus Masvidal matchup at the White House card, calling them nonsense and highlighting how much MMA speculation online is misleading. Even his own social media rarely reflects such claims. In contrast, talk of Nate Diaz's comeback carries more credibility, given his dedicated training, loyal fan base, and history in major fights, making his potential return one of the few genuinely exciting matchups for fans.
If Nate Diaz was to come back. But if he was, and if Conor McGregor does actually make it back, I think that's the fight to make all day long. The 1-1, there were some of the biggest fights in UFC history. Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor at the White House would be absolutely insane. It probably will have Tom Aspinall versus John Jones in the main event. It probably will have Conor McGregor versus someone, Michael Chandler or Nate Diaz, in the co-main event. So that just kind of sets the tone for how big that card would be. What do you think? Do you think Conor McGregor will actually make it back? Of course, he hasn't fought since 2021, right? It's going to be 5 years since he last fought. I, for one, fair play to the guy. Fair play, man. Respect. He doesn't need to do this. He doesn't need to come back. He's got lots of other avenues and ways to make money, but fighting is something that never leaves you, okay? It's a part of who you are. It's in your DNA. It's part of your soul. And he wants to come back and he wants to get his hands raised in victory. Of course, he wants to come back.
Fans are clamoring for the long-awaited trilogy, and Michael Bisping is adamant. Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor 3 is the fight the MMA world needs. With each fighter having claimed one victory, the decisive rubber match isn't just overdue, it's unavoidable. Bisping envisions it on the biggest stage imaginable, even joking about a clash on the White House lawn, and stresses that this is exactly the type of high-profile bout Diaz should target. If it comes to fruition, it won't merely be a fight, it would become a cultural milestone, a spectacle fans will recall for years to come.
If Nate Diaz comes back and gets a big win over someone in the welterweight division, okay? And he does it impressively, and then the McGregor fight happens, that's when I'm interested. But right now, I feel like the hardcore fans are kind of in mutual agreement that it's Masvidal or Gaethje. To us, It's Conor Masvidal or Gaethje, and for Chael Sonnen and Ariel Helwani to both say that they think Nate Diaz trilogy should be next is strange to me. Very strange to me, because I would love to see either Gaethje or Masvidal. I feel like everyone's in agreement here. We've seen that Donald Cerrone has been beaten by Conor McGregor in
Diaz. He is the most puzzling. He's not. I don't even think he's that good. I'll go get his record if you want me to. But he has convinced people he is good at fighting somehow, some way.
He's pretty good.
I'm gonna go get his damn record, Daniel. It's not.
But he won the Ultimate Fighter. He won the Ultimate Fighter. I'm saying he was good for the time that he was fighting.
No, he wasn't. He was average.
He was. Yeah. Okay. I'm just.
Okay.
Trying
I'm gonna go get the record. I'm gonna go get the record. They're gonna yell at me. I know this. Okay. Let's see. Well, his record is 21-13.
Oh my God. Really?
Yes, that's not that great.
Okay, I take it back. I'm taking it back.
And he was going into the UFC, he was, I think it was 5-1. So within the UFC, he was 16-12.
That's not good.
That's not very good.
That's not good. There's really no way to twist that into good.
Yeah. So but you know, his personality, that's another one's like, how did his personality catch on? He says funny things sometimes. He's a little bit different. I don't know. Yeah. And listen, if you post this clip, please don't post this clip.
Expanding on that, Michael Bisping takes a step back to consider the bigger picture. If Nate Diaz returns to the octagon and Conor McGregor truly comes back, there's no reason to hold back. The trilogy fight must happen. Their rivalry already ranks among the most legendary in UFC history, and placing it on a White House card would instantly amplify the stakes for the entire event, especially alongside other marquee bouts. For Bisping, this isn't just about hype. McGregor doesn't need another fight, yet the urge to compete never fades. That opportunity for one final defining moment makes his appearance on a historic card feel almost inevitable.
For the guy that I believe is going to fight is Michael Chandler. Who's he going to fight? I think that Benoit Saint Denis is possible. I think that a rematch with Dan Hooker is possible. I think there's a chance of a quick turnaround with the BMF, but I don't know how bullish I am just because that turnaround would be so quick. But I am very confident that Chandler's going to be on there. I will tell you, Alex Pereira, if you want to know the sport's biggest stars, you've got Alex Pereira and Sean O'Malley that are battling for the top spot for 2 years now. But from what we're told, Ilia Topuria is a massive star, particularly internationally. So now that you've got the return of Ilia Topuria, it would seem as though you would use your big star over there. It would also seem with Alex Pereira, since he's not booked, that he would.
Islam was going to be able to. I didn't think Islam is small for 170. I've seen him in person. I've trained with him. He's a big fucking dude. And who would Islam fight next at 170? You know what? I think Islam is destined for. He should fight Ilia Topuria at the White House. If he beats Ilia Topuria, he retires. Islam has plenty of money, right? Go out on your shield like Habib did. A lot of people in MMA don't want to see that, but in mixed martial arts, us athletes, we stay too long at the party. There's no reason for an athlete to continue to come to the head and all that stuff. If I was him, fight Ilia Topuria at the White House. You beat Ilia Topuria, walk away. I'm sure he made another one. That shit probably goes as far as fucking Russia, so there's no point for him.
Meanwhile, MMA Guru shifted focus to timing and context, highlighting the fan's perspective. He explained that the next must-watch fight hinges on Nate Diaz actually returning and making a statement with a significant welterweight win. Only after that would a trilogy with Conor McGregor truly grab the spotlight on a White House card. While hardcore fans debate potential matchups like Jorge Masvidal or Glover Teixeira, insiders, including Ariel Helwani, are quietly leaning toward Diaz versus McGregor as the next blockbuster showdown.